Hotep Black Power, giving honor to the ancestors, giving honor to the Creator. As always, giving honor to my sister, Chief of Staff, Brother Harris Abdul of the Street Law Soldiers, my father, my in-laws, all of the ancestors, as well as all of you brothers and sisters who are fighting for the liberation and salvation of our black nation. Uh, what I want to discuss briefly, not long, just a couple of things briefly, is a disturbing news that I received concerning a 18-year-old brother, young man, and a 35-year-old woman, homeless woman, mother of four, that this 18-year-old raped the 35-year-old woman, strangled her, murdered her, and after she was deceased, proceeded and went on to have sexual intercourse with this woman, 35 years old, What do we do about that? Now, this is in Baltimore, Maryland. It's just another example. Now, this lady, I believe she's European white and considered poor white trash. Mother of four. They all live in a shelter. She has a history of substance abuse. She also has a history of dancing in those nightclubs down there in what they call Pigtown. There's little hole in the wall clubs where you see these white trailer park white women, jumping around dancing, smelling like old tuna, with freckles and dents and no ass and just smelling like dead fish, and a wet dog, jumping around on stage, with beady pubic hair and the like. Anyway, it still doesn't justify this nigga, having sex with her. Probably was a trick, and he ended up strangling her, killing her, and then, sex with the deceased corpse. Now, in the annotated code of Maryland, the books, which is called necrophilia in Maryland, carries a very, very stiff sentence as well, which that law pertains to having sex with dead humans as well as animals, and it carries a very stiff penalty. The sexual urges and sex has just been, in on hyperspace levels all around. In everything has a sexual twist, and if you don't engage in to this wild, nasty world of all of this type of all this perverted sexual behavior, then you're considered, weak or soft or whatever. And that's not the case, because a lot of people that are clear and have knowledge and are conscious understand the sexual perversion that this country is engaging in, and that is promoted 24 hours a day, all day long. You see something on TV all day long: sex, 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 drugs, drugs, drugs. They're always trying a new drug out on some type of disease with a million side effects to it. Everything has a sexual twist. Reality show, RuPaul's Drag Race, all of these different shows. Every show that has a melanated brother in it, 9 times out of 10, he's going to be portrayed as being soft, cooning or gay. You know, just and cooning is just as bad as being gay. And as far as the entertainment world is concerned, you know, look at Steve Harvey. You know, with this big, you know, Clydesdale, you know, gigantic horse mouth motherfucking coon who shucks and jives and buck dances all day. And then a lot of you niggas out there will co-sign the cooning and the buck dancing, talking about he's making money and, you know, and lying, talking about he does this and he does that. Steve Harvey thinks about himself. The only person he is pleasing is white supremacy. He is an advocate of white supremacy. You know, anytime you have a racist bitch like Paula Deen, you know, on your show, and you advocate for her hatred for melanated people, because this bitch said she wanted to have a wedding plan, a plantation setting where you have black people, you know, as slaves and servants at this wedding reception. You know, and you know, and Steve Harvey, you know, advocates for her, takes up for her. He says he don't give a damn about slavery. He's been to Trump Plaza, you know. He's had his hand on Donald Trump's dick, and you know, and a lot of you niggas take up for him because he hosts Family Feud. That's some sick shit. Very, very sick for anyone who supports him. But nevertheless, let's get back to the necrophilia with this 18-year-old boy who hopefully go to jail for the rest of his life because he's sick, you know, and what he done was uncalled for. And a lot, and this goes on constantly all around the world. This goes on all around the world constantly, on a daily and consistent basis, where you know, even the football player who was given these date rape pills and all of that shit, that's the same thing. You know, that date rape shit, someone is unconscious in a death state, temporarily death state, you know, and you sit there and have sex with them. It's the same. It's the same thing. The only difference is that person snaps out of it most of the time later on, hours later or whatever. But in that particular time, that individual's in a comatose state, and a lot of women do that to men. You know, you drug these men up, and then you take pictures of, you know, you all engaging in a sex act, which you position the entire scene up to take photos to either blackmail him or to either get back at the woman that he's with, because you can't have that man. You know, a lot of this stuff just goes on constantly, and we have adapted to the pace of this hypersexual world, and we need to stop. We need to put brakes on a lot of shit. A lot of shit. If you notice the picture behind me, that's it. You know, the Grand Wizard with a sister confronting him. You know, because some of you sisters understand the system of racism, white supremacy, and you stand behind your man, regardless of his condition, regardless of his situation. You know, if he takes one step, you walking right with him. You know, like a true goddess should. You know, and that's why I give all of you that fall in that category, my hat goes off to you. You know, my heart goes out to you. You deserve all the credit in the world, because you understand who the black man is. See, most of you sisters don't understand who the black man is. You just think it's just a piece of dick with a paycheck attached to it, and that makes a good man. And it's far more to a black man than that. You know, your man is far more powerful in a lot of cases than your pastor. Think about this. Try giving your man the respect and love, especially the respect, because you can't love anybody that you don't respect. It doesn't work like that. But the respect and love you give your pastor, give that to your man. Give that to your man, which is supposed to go to him anyway. The pastor is just another nigga. He's just another nigga that's reading scriptures to you. That's it. You know, that's it. He's no more closer or in touch with the Creator than you are. And that's why it's so important to love your man. And brothers, love these sisters. Love these sisters. You know, keep your fucking hands off of them, because you cannot say, oh, baby, you know, I was drunk last night. You know, I ain't mean to call you a dick guzzling bitch and all that. No, you don't have any love for that sister. No love. Because you don't respect her. There's no such thing as you slipped up and disrespect a queen and degrade her. That's not an accident. You either meant that or that's misdirected anger at yourself. So let's be honest and clear. Shout out to my brother Brian. Today is his born day. Shout out to the brother. May he have many more. And once again, you know, a lot of you brothers that are in terrible relationships, that are in traumatizing, going through mental and emotional abuse from a woman, you don't have to go through that. And I'm telling you from experience. You feel trapped. You feel that there's no way out. You just want to hold on to something for the sake of holding on to something, even though it's not yours. Because long as someone tells you what you want to hear, even though it's not the truth, then, and you know it's not the truth, then you are content with the lie. And so your life has no meaning at that point or at that particular time. You know, and then, you know, you have people that, you know, they in 5 different relationships a year. That's someone who doesn't know who they are. You know, and once they have to take time out so they can find themselves. Because that's a lot of work, exploring 5 different people a year. Having sexual intercourse with 5 different people a year. Some of you lie 5 different times a year. Saying that you love a person, when you don't, because you don't have any self-love. And see, this is why people run to the church and run up under religion, thinking that's gonna heal the ills and the pains of emotional stress and turmoil and mental stress and turmoil that you are going through. And it doesn't work like that. You know, like Sun Tzu said, religion is the opiate of the people. When you want that blast, you want that hour-and-a-half blast once a week, you go get it and you jump up and down, you wave your hands in the air, you break down and cry, you shed your tears, and you be sold once again some false hope and a false reality. Because after that hour and a half, Nothing has changed. As soon as you leave the doors, the church doors or the mosque doors or the temple doors and go back out into the world, nothing has changed. If anything, things have gotten worse. And so that's why it's so important for us to, look within. I don't practice no particular religion, but I deal with spirituality. I deal with the spiritual concept of knowing who I am. If I'm the original man, if I'm the first person on the planet, if I, through the black woman, and that all colors come from black, and that I'm the closest thing that anyone is going to see, including myself, when I look in the mirror, of what we call God, then that's my religion. That's my spiritual base. Because all these books tell you that you were born in the image and likeness of the Creator, meaning that whatever you believe in, God or Allah or whatever, Buddha, Confucius, that person looks just like you. That's you. Let me give you an example. You look at all the brothers and sisters that have been in jail, that have been persecuted, that have been crucified. And it's a clear indication that it's been a crucifixion, because that's when the appreciation for that person begins once they leave this physical plane. Once they leave in physical form. You heard the term, you heard the phrase, nobody appreciates you till you're gone. This is the same thing. So, that's just some things I want to touch on in terms of relationships, and I always want to, keep us posted on some current events that take place, but because, thanks to the brother, brother Damon and Denise, that they have a lot of information, and they are currently stay abreast on a lot of these crimes dealing with sexual abuse and murder, and pastors and priests and ministers that get caught up in the world of homosexuality, infidelity, and things of that nature. So I'm grateful for that brother and that sister for providing that information. However, I try to have a balance with good information, as well as the reality of the things that a lot of our people go through in terms of the mental illnesses that runs rampant in the black community. The 18-year-old raping the 35-year-old woman being a prime example of the mental illness. Because when we mention mental health or mental illness in the black community, nobody wants to admit that they're dealing with mental health issues, which we all are. I don't give a damn how much money you got, how famous you are, how much notoriety you got, how many times you come on TV, how many TV shows you got, how many basketball, football, baseball, hockey records you break, how many times you're MVP. You have mental health issues if you are melanated and you are a descendant of slaves in America. Even if it's just post-traumatic slave syndrome. And so when we start talking about that, and we start being honest and open and clear about what ails us mentally and emotionally, and how depressed we are as a people, to pick up the paper every day and read about someone we know or someone we don't know, but they are melanated, that has been murdered, that have been raped, that have been a victim of police terrorism, and that the herds of homeless people you see in front of stores, melanated people begging for change, they haven't bathed in days and weeks and months, that are sleeping outside, subjecting themselves to being bit by rodents, rats, possums, squirrels, pecked on by pigeons, urine and feces all over themselves, walking around with blankets in the wintertime. So the mental health runs rampant in the black community, and not just on the for homelessness. The person that makes 6 figures a year, that wears a $2,000 suit each day, down and has a powerful high position in the corporate structure, is more infected with mental health than the one that is homeless on the street, because you don't think you have a problem at all based on your title, because we're not titles. Based on your status and title, you think that you are completely well, and you just as sicker than you possibly could imagine. But we're gonna get back and we're gonna talk about some more of this, brothers and sisters. I just want to touch bases on some things, and switch tracks for a minute, and just take another direction temporarily, because I want to touch on all areas. Because like I said, live streaming is coming, and we're gonna be really getting it in, by either beginning, mid, or end of summer. But with the creators and the ancestors' blessing, 2018, we will be live streaming, and we really will be dialoguing and doing some serious building. And the way that I'm going to be live streaming is unique and different from the normal live streaming sessions are. So just bear with me, brothers and sisters. Stay tuned, stay strong, stay black, stay proud. Hotep, Black Power.